everyone, it's your host Jay here, welcoming you back to another episode of the Over Manga Cast. That time we woke up in a podcast and had to explain manga. Our heated adventures over analyzing manga we find interesting. This episode, we're back for another Chainsaw Man revisit by Tatsuki Fujimoto. On this episode, we read chapters 112 to 120, otherwise known as the dating arc. Join us and find out if our hero Denji finds true love. Maybe it's a little complicated. Anyway, here we go.
Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and usually at the top of the show we talk about what our familiarity with the franchise is, but this is like our 10th episode on Chainsaw Man, so I think you know already, right?
That's not even close to true.
We've done a lot of them, though.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, though, to recap, I managed to stay slightly ahead of the podcast, usually. I'll get a couple of chapters ahead, and then we do our next reading, and it's like, oh, I've already read this part. And now we're at the part I haven't read, and that was basically true for this as well. Matt, how about you?
I'm not going to date the podcast by mentioning any specifics, but due to a video game taking up the majority of my life, Chainsaw Man is the only thing I keep up to date with.
Excellent. Jay, how about you?
Due to prior commitments, Chainsaw Man is really the only thing I keep up to date with as well. Oh, that's not true. There is Witch from Mercury that I'm keeping up with as well. Yeah.
Yes, but we'll just that at a later date.
I love how G-Witch is slowly creeping into this manga podcast.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 podcast hosts recommend. As for me, in the stuff that I say I want to continue reading, I'll dabble a chapter or two when I can in, and Chainsaw Man hasn't come up in the rotation since the last time we read it, so all of it was fresh for me.
Excellent. And yeah, we pick up where we left off last time, and as it is most times in Chainsaw Man, that means we pick up in the rubble of a devil attack. And this time it was after Asa had fought her friend in the previous segment, and while she and Yoru are discussing the ramifications of all of this, she is approached by a group of weirdos, which is typical for this manga, and the leader introduces himself as the club/student council president, Haruka Isayumi of the Devil Hunter Club. Because we let children do this. Oh, right. Chainsaw Man.
Yep.
The current world of Chainsaw Man is not a great place to raise children, to be fair.
I mean, I don't think the past world of Chainsaw Man was that fantastic either, but
Here we are.
Look, at least we had a strong person in politics keeping order.
What could go wrong?
There certainly was a degree of control, but
we'll get to that later.
This guy is the worst guy in the best way.
Explain a little bit, Sam.
Isayumi, the student council / club president, is extremely full of himself, believing that he must introduce himself in every panel, and also when he hears that Asa is asking if Chainsaw Man is a part of the Devil Hunter Club, he says, "Here's your answer," and lifts up his shirt to reveal the starter cord on his own chest.
Yes, bold enough to immediately start flashing random strangers.
Yeah.
I mean,
He certainly got the audacity of Chainsaw Man.
So, to be fair, we are just coming off the ending of the previous arc that was resulted by another Chainsaw Man killing and eating the
The
big
Justice
bad.
Double.
You know, that's a good point. That didn't occur to me. I think it's because he's such a loser. But that is actually a good point. And Asa seems to agree. She really doesn't particularly care for the guy. Yoru, on the other hand, makes a point of immediately extricating herself from the conversation.
Can't blame her.
Because if that's Chainsaw Man, we can't fight him. We need a stronger weapon. So I need you to make a good, strong weapon for me, Asa. Okay, the sooner I get rid of you, the better, I guess. So how do I go about this? Well, you need to turn something into a weapon, and a living being would probably be best. Like that cat. You could turn that cat into a weapon. I refuse. I love cats.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Mhm.
I would rather kill a person than a cat. I'm sensing a pattern here.
Well, what if I killed like a criminal or something? That way they would have deserved it. Yeah, but the fact that you're already making that justification means you're assuaging yourself of the guilt, so the weapon wouldn't be very strong. What's something that's like a midway point between a cat and a criminal for you? And then it shows Denji.
Yeah, that's not inaccurate.
See, but my boy Denji, he's doing a public service. He's just walking around picking up cigarette butts off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at what a good boy he is.
Oh, wait, no, now he's ripping up those cigarette butts and rolling them into cigarettes? That's
Yeah.
some delinquent behavior.
That is definitely delinquent. How did he learn this practice? I assume from his.
I do appreciate the like 6-panel spread of like, this is how you roll a cigarette. It's like step by step, like hand motion.
Twist, twist.
And he loads the re-rolled cigarettes into a carton.
And then goes and sells it to a homeless guy at a huge markup, claiming that they're genuine American smokes. He's ripping off homeless people. What a piece of crap! He's perfect.
Perfect. Just the keeper.
He is a step above criminal because I don't think what he's doing is illegal.
Question mark?
It's just dickish.
He's not so bad that he deserves to die, which means I'd feel bad about turning him into a weapon, but like not. Asa's weird waffling is also a pretty prevalent theme throughout this, which is explicitly addressed later on.
I love Asa because she is like the perfect match for Yoru. Because
Mhm.
Yoru is just like, I have a power where the amount of guilt you feel about something makes it a more powerful weapon. And you feel guilty about just being alive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Asa's friggin' Bruce Banner with that's my secret, Yoru. I'm always feeling guilty.
Unfortunately, there are many moments that I vibe with us.
Yeah.
Damn.
Remember, don't kill the part of you that is cringe. Kill the part that cringes.
I mean, that is Yoru's goal, is just get Asa out of the head completely.
Resolving to go and gain possession of Denji to turn him into a weapon, she approaches him and asks him on a date. And Denji, being the perennial simp that he is, immediately goes, yes.
Yes.
I love where this develops to later in this.
It's so good. Because he's like, hey, aren't you that lady that hates Chainsaw Man? Why would I want to talk to you? You were real mean to me. You want to go on a date? Yes. Didn't you just say that you were like a really busy guy and didn't have time for this? I can go on a date. I can make time.
Denji.
You don't understand. The cigarette is just a hustle from my main goal.
It is, in fact, a side hustle because having a part-time job is against the rules.
I love that's just traditional Japanese school culture, but like in the world they're living in, where like a good portion of the people in this high school are orphans, the idea that you wouldn't allow people to have a side hustle is
ridiculous. Yes.
I mean, how long have devils been a thing? Multiple decades?
Denji's
Long
like
enough.
16, yeah, so he's got to be at least since Denji was a baby.
I'll buy baby.
And almost surely longer than that, because remember, the world of Chainsaw Man, it's nearly like we got a year at one point, but like technology versus like cultural drift and such like that, because of the nature of devils, particularly devils that got eaten by Chainsaw Man.
World War II happened because there was a Nazi devil.
What the heck's a Nazi?
Exactly.
And then World War II didn't happen because Chainsaw Man ate the Nazi devil.
Well, I think it still happened. Just people forgot what Nazis were, which, good.
Yeah.
Fair.
So the time frame, and I know we talked about this in other episodes, and sure, obviously we need to move on from that, but I'm like thinking about, based on the technology, we decided it was like early 2000s, late 90s, I think.
I think mid 90s, really. Maybe
Yeah.
late.
We landed somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, mid to late 90s.
Based on the fact that computers look super old.
The computers look old, and cell phones are things that a good number of people have, but they're mostly flip phones, and you don't really see any touch screens.
Yeah. They're also old school flip phones. They're not like the sleek ones that you got like mid 2000s. So, which conveniently, this is new millennium right now, and we don't have to worry about 9/11. Because the terrorism devil was killed. Wait, no, they're a terrorist, huh?
Yeah, they're a terrorist.
Is it too soon to? It's been 20 years.
Look, we're reading Chainsaw Man. If there's not a little bit of transgression, we're not doing it right.
True, but
So yeah, Asa asks, or Denji asked her out on a date.
I know she asked Denji on the date, and then
yep,
and
he agrees.
And they go to the aquarium because nothing bad ever happens at the aquarium.
Nothing bad ever happens at the aquarium. You know, I'd say shouldn't Denji know better, but he's only really experienced the aquarium once. It's Fujimoto's totality of work that makes that a bad sign, that makes it a death flag.
Denji would have had to read everything else that exists outside of his universe.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite joke in the reading because we open up the chapter of the date with Asa getting ready, and Yoru's just like, couldn't you try to like pizzazz yourself up a little bit with like a hair clip or something? No, I'm cute enough as is. Besides, most guys are total simps that the second you show them even the slightest amount of attention, they fall head over heels. This is going to be easy. Immediately, next panel, next page, it is paragraphs of her like Wikipedia entry ranting about sea anemones.
Pretty interesting organisms, you know?
It is interesting to read about on your own time.
Denji, bored out of his mind, and he's like, hey, look, we went to the zoo and I want to see penguins. Can we go see the penguins? No, we're going to be here for another 10 minutes. This is all part of my plan.
Yeah, I was about to say the bigger problem is she's memorized these like Wikipedia articles on them and refuses any interaction.
Yeah, that was super. I'm like, dude, he's gonna be there for maybe like 20 minutes. Can't you like come back to the anemone like rant?
I also like the kind of meta joke, probably at Fujimoto's own expense, when Asa's getting ready and she's debating the hair clip. She puts it in. She's like, no, I'm not going with the hair clip. And I'm like, yeah, because you look identical to Kobeni.
But the punchline of the joke being Denji's complaining about this. She's like, no, we got to stick to the plan. Page turn, exact same paneling, but now they're at the starfish tank. I lost it, man.
This is something that I actually like. This is probably calling myself out for this, but I don't care. It's the truth.
This is why we don't go to the aquarium with Jacob.
The page turn of the almost identical panels, but with just a few differences, like that's something that Fujimoto actually really likes doing. It almost looks like the exact same page with the exact same, like even the panel composition is almost exactly the same. There's just enough that, like, obviously it was like redrawn and he's not just like tracing his own stuff or anything. It conveys this sense of like emptiness into the world that is so pervasive in a lot of Fujimoto's work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I also like how dry the text is, that like as reading it, you're like, okay, come on, I don't care.
Much
They're
like
trying
Denji.
to actually like make you in the character moment of, yes, you are I completely forgot.
You're zoning out as well.
Yes, zoning out as well. It's like encyclopedia reading to me. That's it.
Like reading the second page of this, I was just like, okay, come on, Denji, you're done with this date. And conveniently,
the really funny thing is there's a pretty good amount of this stuff that I actually find like actually interesting, but it's presented in a way that even I'm glazing over.
It's when she becomes like doubles down and like, no, this is the plan. You are going to stand here and listen to me until I finish.
You got Denji just over there going like, man, okay, I'm getting real strong vibes about my ex from you. And also, weirdly, my little sister. We're not going to go into that right now. I'm not looking for a controlling chick at this moment.
But maybe.
It's great character. It's actually a great character moment because Asa's just like, look, we'll just stick to my plan. You don't need to think about a thing. Beat panel of Denji just kind of agape at her and then going, you know what? No, I'm going to think for myself sometimes. I'm going to go look at the penguins. And he storms off.
And to be fair, penguins are cute.
They are very
I
cute.
also want to look at the penguins.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know penguins were at aquariums.
I mean, yeah, because they have, like, first of all, fish, and second of all, they are semi-aquatic.
I didn't think you could eat the fish.
We'll get into that. We'll address that later.
Yeah.
At which point, Denji walks off, just leaves, and Yoru just puts Asa on blast. The look of pain on her face.
She's like, so I just watched that shit.
Yoru needed to be the little devil on the shoulder going like, girl, I know you think you got this in the plan. This is not girl boss. This is, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
Yoru already has admitted, like, she is, like, detached from human emotion and doesn't completely understand them. And she's like, I don't even understand emotion. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yoru is 100% like, look, I don't know what issue of Teen Vogue you read that said just mimic fish facts at him until he loves you. Just go for the dick. I don't know what to do with you, girl.
Yours just like, look, sure, you think you didn't do anything wrong, but have you ever considered that you're really boring?
This is from a place of love, but also no, you're fucking boring.
Even if I wasn't a devil who was, like, in your head and everything, possessing you, I would not hang out with you.
And it's like we're getting some real good character drama, some argument out of this. Maybe Asa can have a breakthrough or just double down. Either way, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, because the thing is, what we get is, and I think it's addressed in more detail later, but like we get the idea that like Asa's afraid of failing at social interaction, and that's why she's being so robotic.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's so controlling
and so unwilling to admit that she was doing the wrong thing. But right before we can really get into the meat of that argument, we suddenly have an invader showing up. It's the weird girl from last time that we took note of, who just shows up and is like, yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you know what? Keep it up. How else are you going to turn Denji into a weapon? How do you know that? Oh, it's because I'm the War Devil's big sister, Famine Devil. Call me Fammy.
Fammy is best character.
I really like Fammy.
Yeah. Last episode we did on Chainsaw Man was hard because I legitimately was feeling I could have sworn they told you who her name was last time. And no, it's just because they don't tell you for a chapter. Like,
so we did all of that speculating about the Four Horsemen and whatnot.
I'm just like, I could have sworn they just told you this. I don't know why you think you're guessing correctly.
But Yoru tries to get Asa to not listen to her, and then with a click of her fingers, the Famine Devil and Yoru are gone.
But the good news is Denji comes back.
The bad news is he's getting deja vu because the aquarium really isn't that big, and he walked down the hallway, and the hallway didn't end. And with the most this shit again expression on his face, he's like, so that asshole's back from hell, as they're now once again trapped by the Eternity Devil.
And more importantly, he did not get to see the penguins.
He didn't get to see the penguins.
No, very sad.
It is interesting that this is the second devil that Denji killed in part 1 that's come back in part 2. I'm beginning to sense a theme. But thankfully, the Student Devil Hunter Club happened to be patrolling the area because it's a hot spot for devil activity.
Surprise, surprise. The aquarium.
Yeah. And we get my other favorite joke, which is Club President keeps trying to introduce himself and keeps getting cut off by other people.
Well,
like, yes, we know who you are, okay? Shut up.
The Devil's Hunter Club was here because Fammy was here.
Yes.
because she's a member of the Devil's Hunter Club.
Mhm.
Hey, they never suspect you're actually a devil if they're actually like part of the club.
I gotta say, incredibly terrible club for them to go, hey, what's your name? Fammy.
Seems legit.
Then, that being said,
You should have called her out on that later.
we did have a woman with bright red hair and concentric circle eyes just be the head of government for a little bit. So,
Mhm.
column A,
I
column
mean,
B.
were you going to try to call her out or something? Or else she's just gonna, control you and all that? Like, you're gonna be that person?
She had magic controlling powers. Famine Devil just makes you hungry. So,
It's the worst.
it's like, hey, wait a second. Are you a devil? Oh, no, I need a sandwich.
The ultimate
I'm-
distraction.
I'm hungry. You guys hungry? I'm hungry.
But yeah. So Fammy, the last thing she said was, you should turn Denji into a weapon, and it'll.
Otherwise, you're not getting out of here.
Oh, she doesn't think Asa has it in her, but she's like, hunger makes people.
Yes.
That's
Forgo
why.
their humanity.
Yeah, forgo their humanity.
So they are now trapped in here, with no way out.
Yes, and I don't know if they mentioned the name of this character, but there is a Kobeni in among the ranks here, and I do not know her name. I think it's a
It's-
younger sibling.
It's
I-
Kobeni, but less intolerable.
And
Yeah.
also more hair clips.
No, I actually believe I think this is one of her younger sisters or something.
It's her less obnoxious clone.
I never wanted to join the Devil Hunter Club. My mom just said it would get me scholarships. I don't want to die.
Shut up.
Oh. So the wiki says unnamed male member.
Hmm.
So apparently that was a male guy.
Yeah.
But
I still think they're part of the Kobeni clan.
To
is
be
what I'm
fair,
saying.
while the article is very unbiased, saying unnamed male student, the image title is Kobeni's brother.
I know. I knew
He's
it.
at least a spiritual brother.
Yes.
And also, as established, very androgynous. So
I'm just
that's
saying the
fine.
Kobenis had like 1 million kids. Like that was a trait. So I totally
believe
would
it.
believe it.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're poor for a reason.
Yeah.
What's the special edition one, or the one-shot comic for summer vacation where they take Kobeni's little sister to the beach?
I don't recall that one.
Denji and Power take Kobeni and her little sister to the beach because Kobeni has a car.
Kobeni has a car, by the way, everyone. She
Best
had
character.
a
Yep.
car.
We all know.
Nobody can forget Kobeni Car.
But the thing about that one shot is that's where them splashing around the water from the Chainsaw Man trailer comes from.
Ah.
Because you're like, when did they go to the beach? Oh, they went to the beach then.
We've got layer upon layer of dramatic irony because Asa believes that the president of the Devil Hunter Club / Student Council is Chainsaw Man because of earlier stuff. And so she's like, okay, maybe I could turn Denji into a weapon here and fight him, but it's probably going to get me killed. And while she's having her mental breakdown about that, it's just like,
Well, she also thinks, oh, good, Chainsaw Man is here. I won't. Chainsaw Man will just solve this problem.
Mm-hmm. And he is, and he doesn't. Yes, it's the Eternity Devil arc again. The hallway goes on forever. It is the same vertically as well as horizontally. And well, at least they're in an aquarium, so they can get some fish to eat to survive. Except Asa refuses to eat fish.
Yes. Provided that you do not have a fish allergy and or are not so put off fish for her reasoning was simply because it looks like the animal after it's
It looks too much like a dead animal. Yeah.
Which, I mean, a cooked fish is in fact a dead animal. Like,
I understand what she is saying, but I'm just like, well,
it's still dumb. I understand what you're saying. It's still dumb.
Yes. But I mean, I also thought, well, we can continue, but I'm just like, can't she just like chop it up, or someone can chop it up for her so that it doesn't resemble?
You're trying to solve problems here. That's not Asa's
Yeah.
deal. Asa just wants to complain about problems and be a victim professionally. Like,
You're expecting people in the Chainsaw Man universe to act reasonably.
oh, you want to know who acts reasonably? Hirofumi Yoshida, who's also there, and he's just like, "Hey,
Yoshida
how's
is
it
my
go?
man.
How's it going? Oh, well, I guess we're gonna die."
Yeah, and
I'm fine
he
with
like
that.
fully accepts it because again, he was what, a civil servant, civil devil hunter, and then went to public safety while, still in high school. So he's seen everything, seen and heard and done everything.
I really love the way he's introduced to be in this scene because it's part of the running gag of the student council president getting cut off while trying to introduce himself because he's halfway through his introduction and Yoshida
And-
just goes, "Oh, hey, Denji."
What are you doing here?
But we have some squabbling between Denji and Asa because Denji is like, if we're in the Eternity Devil hallway now, I wonder if people left behind some stuff here that's been captured. A bag with
Thinking.
a bag with 1,000 yen in it. Perfect.
Collecting resources.
Mhm.
What are you doing? That's stealing. No, it's finders keepers.
I'm not giving it back.
That's stealing.
I like how it's the same bag of money, so that would just be infinite copies of the same serial number.
Yeah.
He hasn't thought that far ahead.
It doesn't matter. It's the same as counterfeit.
This is the bit where we get the cell phone because Asa's like, "Hey, I have our salvation."
Which,
Yeah.
considering how long it took her to remember she has a cell phone on her, kind of sad.
Mhm.
See, here's the thing. Because there's like a whole bit about, wow, do you have a signal? Yeah, I thought I saw a bar for a second there. I think she already checked the phone and knew it had no bars. I think she's full of it the entire time.
She just wanted to appear important and helpful.
Appear helpful, yeah.
I like the world where she didn't even remember it and then was like, "I've got it," and then didn't even think about the next step before, "Oh, wait, no, hold on."
Really hammers home like the time period that we're dealing with. Like, oh, that's right. I do have a form of communication with the outside world.
I wonder what happened to the technology devil.
There's a technology devil because with every new wave of technology, there's like a generation who has some anxiety or fear of it. I mean, if we have like vegetable devils because people have an aversion to whatever vegetable, there's totally like a technology devil. Also, where are the giant spiders? There has to be a spider devil, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the final boss.
No, Spider Devil partnered with that one girl, remember? They had the way too many legs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
Are you sure, or was that the ghost devil?
I think you're confusing two devils.
I think you're confusing two devils that were in the same arc, but regardless, in this arc, I like the various reactions to the because Asa trips and falls over nothing.
Well, also the fact that none of the taller guys like offer to help. Like, what the hell? She's pretty like short.
She's trying to raise her phone because, like, I can get a bar, I can get signal, and then
She falls over nothing.
we literally do not even see the thing she allegedly falls over, but she falls on her ass and towards
Planks into the door, like backwards. So she hits her head.
which causes the cell phone to smash against the doorknob and split in half.
The odds of that happening.
It seemed really low. It's almost as if she had no bars, knew she had no bars, and didn't want to get called out on it when somebody checked.
Jacob, you're really doing double duty to make Asa appear competent, which is not the character at all. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
Asa's character trait at this point is unwarranted levels of guilt and tripping over stuff. So
trying to grasp any moment of confidence and then overselling it, which unfortunately Denji's kind of into.
Uh-huh. I love that. Which is the part that we're coming up on right now because an unspecified number of days pass. The fish are now rotting in the tanks.
Mhm.
Friggin' student council devil hunter president man is...
Don't forget the slash. That's very important.
Yes. It's like, aren't you Chainsaw Man? Can't you get us out of this? What? No, I never said I was Chainsaw Man. But you had the thing on your chest. Oh, that was a surgical implant because I'm a fanboy.
What?
Anyway.
So, what is this plane that this man apparently exists on where they are high school students that aren't allowed to have jobs, so they have possibly side hustles?
But they have the disposable income to surgically implant a chainsaw starter ripcord into their chest.
Yes.
Well, he is part of the Devil Hunter Club, so he probably just, like, takes parts from the devils that they hunt and illegally sells them.
Sam. Student athletes don't get paid.
That's true.
Exactly, that's why I said illegally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if like devil hunting is on par with at this point because of the situation, athletic feat.
I'm having flashbacks to Solo leveling and trying to understand the economy in that one.
The economy, folks, the economy.
Oh, it's the most important part.
You would be the one who reviews various manga and anime series and wants to have an economic breakdown from an economist's point of view. This is the situation.
That's going to be our next spin-off series after Over MangaCast After Dark and Cis Confidential.
No.
The Over Econ cast.
Over economics.
And you can hear the pilot episode if you pledge on our Patreon. We don't have.
But anyway, student council / Devil Hunter president is screaming for Chainsaw Man's aid, sobbing his eyes out. And Yoshida's like, I think that's a cue, Denji. And it's like, you think I haven't been trying to find the Eternity Devil and beat its ass like last time? I can't find it. Therefore, I can't do anything.
I love Yoshida in this because he's like, oh, well, I guess we're going to die. By the way, I've had a cell phone this entire time. I can't get any signal out, but that's probably because we're frozen in time.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course the cell phone wouldn't work.
Well, because it didn't work the last time they were in the Eternity Devil.
But everyone is slowly losing their minds. One of the members of the Devil Hunter Club is just shadowboxing. Kobeni 2.0 is licking the glass. Asa has somehow gotten into one of the tanks and is just sitting in it. I'm really not sure how she got in there, but she's complaining about being hungry. And then she's like, so eat some fish. I can't eat fish. Oh, yeah?
Well, obviously you're not starving enough.
So
My dad would say.
I'm going to assume how this aquarium's set up. There must not be like a back room for like fixing the tanks or everything. They must just pull down the viewing window.
Because the water level in that is fairly low. It's like up to her ankles.
Because as it turns out, it's the starfish tank. And in the incredibly boring block paragraph, they noted that starfish are actually edible. That's a cute moment of despite being bored, Denji was still at least on some level paying attention.
So I actually read that as Denji is used to being super poor, so he knows what to scavenge.
Well, the beauty is that you can legitimately read both.
And honestly, both can also simultaneously be true. It could be something that he already knew but was reminded of because he was at least at some level paying attention.
I just really don't like rewarding Asa for whatever that nonsense she did at the beginning was.
Yeah. Fair. She doesn't deserve it.
But yes, Asa is having a real great mope session there in the tank, muttering to herself about how shouldn't have asked him on this date. Now he's gonna die too. I don't even have the guts to turn him into a weapon. I suck so bad at this. I don't know what's right or wrong. My life is just one long string of attempts to avoid mistakes and failing at that anyway. And then Denji climbs in the tank. He's like, hey, quit moping, eat this starfish.
Huh? Can't eat fish, right?
Starfish ain't fish.
I mean, this is Denji. He will try to eat anything that's edible.
As established. It doesn't have to be edible. He'll try to eat anything.
Yes.
Well, if it's toxic, why don't we just boil it first? Boil it in what? Forehead? I found this pot lid, and I stole the cigarette lighter from Kobeni 2.0. When did you do that? Wait, why did he have a cigarette lighter? All right, we glazed over
We
that.
glossed over the fact that Kobeni 2.0 just says out loud, "My bullies make me carry a lighter around so I can light their cigarettes." It's just stated casually.
I'm just if you're reading him as Kobeni 2.0, you're like, yep, that makes sense. But then you're kind of reading it like, wait, why does someone who hunts devils allow human beings to push them around?
Why did Kobeni do anything?
Kobeni had problems.
Exactly. But yes, they have a delicious meal of boiled starfish, except it's not at all delicious.
It's absolutely awful. But you know what? They're not dying now.
Not really, because actually midway through eating that, Asa's just like, wait, hold on, you have dried fish over there? Yeah, but you can't eat fish. I'll eat that instead.
She's like gagging as she does it, but she's trying her damnedest. And Denji's like, you know what? When you talk, you're pretty boring, but watching you is fun.
You kind of remind me of a friend I used to have who died. And now I'm going to form a romantic interest in you. Because I don't believe in healthy starts to relationships.
Well, the thing that Denji says that you remind me of a friend is Denji compliments her, and immediately she latches onto that with extremely strong grip. I'm charming, aren't I? Aren't I?
I'm glad you noticed. You have a good eye. I am fun. And he's like, damn, you really are just power, aren't you? Reminds me of an old friend.
Reminds me of an old friend I've bathed with.
Because my relationship with women in particular, but people in general, is really weird.
Look, his relationship with power was healthy. Power is just weird.
Fair.
Yeah. So, Denji, why do you have all those hats? I stole them from the Devil Hunter Club so I could pawn them off later and get some dosh. Why are you so obsessed with getting money? Because I've got a roommate stroke little sister that I need to put through college, and college is expensive.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
We'll untie that later.
It's the classic Denji of he's actually not so bad after all. He's actually kind of noble and charming. No, wait, no, he's not. Yes, no. No? Yeah.
Bless his heart, he's trying.
Yeah, that's usually where it lands.
This doesn't get better the more you explain it.
Yeah. You have a little sister who is also your roommate, and you're trying to fund her college education
by being an Ed, and Eddie character and scamming people. Yes.
Anyway, that gives Asa an idea, and she's like, how much money do you think we can grab up? And he's like, fortunately, I have actually labbed out all of the different places that money is in this Eternity Devil loop. So
he's exploiting the infinite money glitch in this video game.
And there's these wonderful panels of them running around, having a jolly old time, grabbing up all the money. And it's like, all right, we've got 1,000,000 yen. So, okay, give that to me. What? No, I'm not going to give you this money. If you give me this money, I'll grant any request you have. Okay, you can have this money.
I love this.
Denji, you simp.
Okay, now I'm going to need you to go over to that corner and close your eyes. No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do this, I will grant the one wish you want. Anything you want. And Denji goes immediately to, ooh. You know what happens when a girl says you can have anything you want?
Second date.
Well, no, but that's definitely what he's thinking right now.
Right.
Look, Denji doesn't really have a very good understanding of anything going on right now.
Yeah. And then Asa then goes, okay, 1,000,000 yen, throw it to the ground. I buy this aquarium. It's mine now. Aquarium spear.
Which is stupid, but also very, very clever. And that is just the essence of Chainsaw Man.
I love that.
I do like the kind of weird paneling on this, which is great because it's Denji going, "Oh man, I can get whatever I want. My any wish come true. Aquarium spear." And then flip the page to Denji with a penguin.
Well, one thing that I really love about this is right before the penguin, which is adorable, by the way, Denji like thinks to himself, wait a second, I'm just doing the thing I did before with my last toxic relationship. Hang on a minute.
Oh, it'll be different this time because I'm wishful.
Never stop hoping, Denji. And now penguin.
But yeah, we now have had an aquarium turned into a spear, and I'm sure a lot of other weird problems, but we need to just take a break to process that.
Yeah, I need some water.
Turns out all of it has now been condensed into a spear.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm going to go pet the penguin.
Yes, we'll be right back after this, folks. And welcome back to the show, folks, where last
It's a penguin!
That was very rude, Sam. You interrupted Jacob during his 57th paragraph of penguin facts.
You're right. I deviated from the plan, and now we're trapped here.
We're trapped in this podcast forever. Help.
Oh, God. But yes. We have the aquarium spear, and then the start of the next chapter is Denji standing against the wall, covering his ears, like, wait a minute, didn't I say I was going to stop the mindless obedience thing? If I obey her, she'll grant my request. Penguin! Doesn't even realize he's outside.
It's set up like he's about to have this big, deep emotional revelation, and then of course it deflates to penguin, because how else could you have that scene go?
Because Denji. But yeah, Denji finds a penguin.
He's very happy.
This is my penguin now.
The government doesn't want you to know this, but the penguins in the middle of the street are free. You can just take them home.
I have 593 penguins.
Turns out you can't own a penguin.
But you can expose the Eternity Devil by turning an entire aquarium into a spear.
A measly million yen can't buy you an aquarium, you moron. Yeah, then why do I got the aquarium spear, idiot?
I've never vibed more with the devil than just running out and saying, that's an unreasonable amount of money for what you just did.
This wasn't the deal, Famine. Anyway, I'm gonna punch you now. Also, my face is made out of fingers. Yeah, Eternity Devil looking real weird in this incarnation, but, you know.
That's how they do.
Yep.
Well, because it's a completely different Eternity Devil.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the thing to remember about how the devils work, is that they
Yeah, this is it's either a new version or it's
they reincarnate, but like not in a I keep my memories sort of like they become completely new.
They reincarnate in the actual way reincarnation is supposed to be, not
the wish fulfillment-y version of reincarnation.
Not the isekai nonsense where it's like, I get to keep all my memories. It's like, no, it's some nonsense about how your soul's the same, but not any of the part of you that's really matters.
Yeah.
It's a whole philosophical thing.
But the Eternity Devil goes to flatten Asa, but thankfully Yoshida is there and manages to counteract his move long enough for Asa to switch over to Yoru and use the aquarium spear for the rad killing blow.
I love this 2-panel spread because the front is just hitting the spear through the chest, and then out the back is the Eternity Devil's guts and the contents of the aquarium. So there's just fish and a full shark shooting out the back.
An entire shark, and it's so cool.
A whole ass shark.
Not to be a stickler, but kind of. Where was the shark in this very cheap aquarium? Like,
I mean,
Look,
don't
it's
ask questions.
It's a cute ocean puppy. I want one.
I thought you couldn't keep sharks in captivity because they breathe through moving.
That's specifically great whites.
Yeah,
Is
specifically
that
great
not a
white.
great white?
It's
That-
a generic shark-shaped shark.
Yes.
It's
Don't make me get Shark Week on you, okay?
Okay,
I can
well,
also go Shark Week on you.
Oh my.
For the next 30 minutes, we will be discussing the anatomy of this shark in Wikipedia detail.
Jacob's joking. Please don't turn off the episode.
I will cut it all out. Don't worry.
If you want to hear my full shark rant, you can.
But yes, Asa's or Yoru is all like, "Yeah, that was rad. I killed that guy. That was so cool. Yeah." And then everyone with the shocked reactions, and then Denji, he's so cute. I want to keep him as he's cuddling the penguin.
This is mine now.
I own this.
So much.
His home's gone.
He needs a home. I have a home.
Denji is so happy. He's like, he's so cute. I want to keep him. It's like I looked at that and I'm like, that's the panel where Jacob kins with Denji, and
Yes.
I'm just saying, Denji knew that this aquarium had penguins.
Yeah, he did. And then I'm assuming off panel, Denji realized how annoying it would be to own a penguin.
Oh no, there's an insert shot of an authority figure taking the penguin away, and Denji is very sad about it.
Oh,
he
missed that.
It's very sad. Yeah, he looks so disappointed he can't keep the penguin.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
Turns out the government can keep the penguins from you. Why can't Denji just eat the government devil?
Isn't that what happened last time?
In a manner of speaking, kind of.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what happened with Control.
Because he didn't eat Makima.
He did eat Makima.
But he wasn't in the Chainsaw Man form. Because Nayuta's the control devil.
But there's no point in eating Makima. I'm not sure.
Symbolism.
What the lore is on this.
Symbolism.
I think, okay, if I had to posit an off the wall theory for the lore reason behind that, he didn't eat the control devil in the Chainsaw Man form because maybe erasing the concept of control from the universe metaphysically is a bad idea.
He just didn't like that bad lady.
Denji cannibalizing Makima in his human form broke down her corpse so much that she couldn't regenerate even with her super devil powers, and that's what made it possible to like kill her so that she would go to hell and then reincarnate as Nayuta.
He literally wanted to turn her to shit. That's hatred.
Oh no, I'm still running on my weird theory that Puchetta separated the part of him that destroys things when eaten when he turned himself into Puchetta. And that's also what the doppelganger Chainsaw Man running around is. But
oh,
who knows?
We'll have fan theories at the end.
Yes. But I do love the Famine Devil just standing on a nearby roof like, well, that didn't work. Anyway, moving on to my next plan as Denji walks Asa home. And it's like, so I promised you a request. What do you want then? Go on another date with me? I mean, I've got some more experience dating. I'll teach you how to have a good date. It's like,
damn right.
Denji,
jazz playing in the background.
Oh yeah.
Denji, your experience with dates is breaking into a high school with a murderer and a and a weird emotional movie marathon with a sociopath. I don't think you're actually that experienced with good dates.
To be fair,
Sam, you don't understand what women like. Denji understands.
To be fair, the date he had with Makima at the movie theater, he genuinely considers that an amazing date because they both walked away crying.
It was a really good date. Like, if you had to put that in isolation, that was a good date.
Also, from an outside perspective, the date with Reze was perfect.
Shut up.
It was just the ending that was a problem.
It ended explosively.
Yes. But up until that point.
Real powder keg of a situation.
They always say go out with a bang.
And Denji does, in fact, have more dating experience than Asa does. That is objectively true. Is it good dating experience? That's debatable, but
I love how Denji is just like, all right, peace sign, heading out later. We'll go on another date at some point. And then Yoru, devil on shoulder, appear, or maybe the id at this point, just appears and is like, so this is what the feeling of falling in love is. I guess since I share your brain, I'm experiencing attraction as well. This is weird and alien to me, but the fact that I'm vocalizing it means that you know you're falling in love with Denji.
I don't like it. It's weird. It's human. It's moist.
But that means we can proceed with the plan. I'm taking over. And Yoru takes over, grabs Denji's forehead and says, Denji, spinal cord sword.
I love the balls on Tatsuki Fujimoto to have this be the chapter break.
Yes. Yeah, the absolute gall of this man.
I was reading this live and manga Twitter, which normally not a great place to be. That's right. I'm calling you guys out.
Twitter in general, but
fair. But like they were just like, oh no, are they killing off Denji?
The next chapter, the first page, is great for ominous symmetry because it starts with a flock of crows, a random power line thing, and then Denji's hair with Asa's hand over it, and Yoru's smiling. And then next page, Denji, confused expression on face. Denji's spinal cord sword?
Cord sword.
Denji's spinal cord sword. Denji's spinal. Why isn't this working? What is it? Denji puts his hand on her head. Asa's spinal cord sword.
You are weird. I like you.
That's a fun way to say goodbye. Anyway.
Later. Power of no thoughts head empty is so strong.
I love how the next page is Yoru going into full defensive mode, going like, if that didn't work, he must not actually have feelings for a gross girl like you. I couldn't possibly be wrong.
Oh, maybe it couldn't be because your power only works on things you own, and you don't own Denji. In fact, that was kind of the point of the entire previous part.
Yes, Denji finds it kind of boring and stuff, but...
Just in case anyone needs to hear this, slight attraction does not equate to owning a human being.
Yes.
To be fair, being in love doesn't equate to owning a human being. When you phrase things that way, they sound terrible.
It comes off as creepy and possessive at the best of times.
That's how relationships work, right?
No.
Creepy, possessive.
They're very interesting to watch from like a distance, but yeah. No.
Look, we need to read friggin' Full Metal Alchemist so we can get Ed and Winry as an actually
healthy couple.
As actual functional relationship.
Functional is doing a lot of work in that sentence, Sam.
By the end.
Okay.
That's the point of the character arcs. This is great because it becomes two very insecure people, both desperately deflecting and defending. As Yoru is just like, I guess he doesn't have feelings for you, so that means I'm definitely not at fault here. And Asa going, oh, I guess he doesn't have feelings for me. I mean, it's not like I liked him anyway. That Baka, I'm just going to collapse on bed and cry now.
If anything, that makes her fall for him harder because Asa really, what's wrong with her?
So freaking much.
Oh, someone, you didn't even like him in the first place, but now the idea that he might not like you back makes you like him more? Oh no.
There's a whole flashback panel of every like instance of Denji smiling in the past 3 chapters. And it's like
teenagers, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. But so Asa enters her tsundere rage and immediately starts shooting down every idea that Denji has at school the next day for their next date.
Well, because Denji's just like, hey, I really love movies, and there's a whole deal going on for just 2,000 yen. We can watch all the Mummy movies we want. And then Asa's just like, no, that's dumb. That's an expensive date. I don't want that. I'm like,
dude, it works out to be like $20.
Yeah.
For all nights.
Too pricey. Do you own a VCR? Do you own a VCR? No, obviously not. Too expensive. A VCR costs way more than I mean, yes, I own a VCR. We'll go to your house then. Oh. That's got a lot of hang-ups. Nope, we're going to your house.
Okay.
You see the wheels turning in Denji's head. He's just like, no, this can work. Dates do go back to houses occasionally.
I know, and she's purposely trying to like box him in, not understanding that his little walnut brain is going to make some assumption. Like, damn, I didn't know you moved that quickly, but all right.
Denji's entire romance comes from people trying to kill him and movies. So
his horny walnut brain. But Denji's really playing up, just like, okay, but if we come over to my place, there are very important rules there because of my roommate / little sister. If you break any of these rules, then you die.
Nani?
That seems dramatic.
All right, unbreakable rule number 1. Don't open any door in this apartment complex other than my apartment door. Why would I do that? I'm going to your apartment. Anyway, come on in. All right, so we're watching these movies. Unbreakable rule number 2, don't open up the fridge. Why would I open up your fridge unprompted? You know what? You're right. Unbreakable rule number 3.
We get the most important one. Unbreakable rule number 3.
No making out with me when my little sister / roommate is here.
I thought that was just a proper respect thing.
So.
Also, if you were wondering about where the dogs went, the dogs are still here.
Well, not at the moment, but.
Yeah, because the roommate / little sister is out walking the dogs.
Well, I meant like after our first half of Chainsaw Man, the dogs are still in the picture. We still got the dogs.
And they are still wonderful.
Yeah, we knew Denji was still watching the dogs. That's how part 1 ends, with him walking a bunch of dogs.
Yes.
And they are very cute.
Yes, they are.
Government man didn't come and take the dogs away.
Yeah. Which logically, I would assume they would let me keep the penguin too.
So, how did you guys read rule number 3 existing? Because I got 2 reads on it. 1, Denji is incredibly wishful thinking about how this date's going to turn out. Or 2, there is a precedence for this rule needing to be stated.
Number 3, both.
Yeah.
Denji has brought a girl home to make out with before.
Because think about it, though. Either he physically has brought girls over, or he talks about it. Which, remember, this is Denji. Literally, within 5 minutes of talking to him, he finds out that he wants to, like, get a girlfriend and have sex.
It's the one thing that hasn't been ruined for him. I love his motivation for wanting sex is every other physical interaction I could have with a human being has been tainted. Sex remains the one pure thing to me.
I'm just saying this would be in the introduction. Hi, my name is Denji.
See, I want to make out with someone without them throwing up down my throat.
See, my favorite little detail is the scoreboard in the apartment where they're tallying the number of farts.
I appreciate that it's separated by the month. So these are March farts.
Yes. Between Denji and Nayuta. And I think Denji has the lead right now.
It's close, though.
It is close. But the mention of unbreakable rule number 3 of no making out in front of the little sister / roommate causes Asa to enter phase 2 of her tsundere rage, at which point where she goes, I don't even like you, Baka. In fact, I hate you. In fact, I'm leaving after this movie.
I'm gonna sit over here awkwardly with leaving space for Jesus.
Yeah.
You were insistent on like going over to his house.
That's how it goes. You get the girls that are like, "Ooh, yeah, we're gonna go over to your house and we're gonna watch a movie," and then they're like, "Yes, we're going to only watch a movie, nothing else." Interesting.
This is their second date.
And I like how Denji immediately enters this spiral of, so she was just using me for like a distraction? Isn't it normal to ask someone on a date because you like them? Did I do something wrong? Was it the starfish thing? Or wait a minute, is it because I smell like wet dog? I knew I shouldn't have been sleeping with the dogs. Wait, do dogs stink? Hey, Asa, do dogs stink?
And turns out that was the Manchurian candidate phase for Yoru to be like, oh yeah, I am going to second base with like running past into third. Yoru is 100%. This is not my. I am willing to just open anything.
Yes.
Denji really asked, hey, babe, are caves natural formations? And Yoru's just like, all right, give me that deck.
Unfortunately, we've got that soap opera timing because it's immediately when
Sister returns.
Unbreakable rule number 3 has been broken.
Also, I love the you get the one half of the page is still the oh boy, how far is this going? And then suddenly dogs! So many dogs!
So many dogs.
They're having a good time.
Oh, I just noticed this.
They're all running in, jumping.
In the one shot of all the dogs, jumping in, they have their own like individual plants, and it's so cute. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but I just picked up on that now.
Oh yeah. Denji and Nayuta have their own plant. Okay. Yeah, no, I was busy paying attention in that particular panel to Nayuta pointing at Yoru and going, thief! And just thinking, oh, thank God she didn't make a finger gun and go bang.
She did throw a chain through her head, so
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not much better. It's slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking, like I'm paging back and forth. There was like a dog explosion when she opened the door.
It's a dog explosion, and I'm very happy about it.
One of these dogs literally has all 4 paws off the ground, like really excited. New person.
Doing a leap.
we've been over this. Makima owned an irresponsible amount of dogs.
Almost enough dogs.
An irresponsible amount of huskies.
Yeah, that's the best part. They're Husker puppers.
Incredibly high maintenance dogs and way too many of them.
They are all furry balls of chaos that shed constantly. I want them.
You shouldn't have 3 of these in an apartment, let alone 30.
I mean, she's trying to really bone up till she has the level of control that she did before. Because remember, there were like, 2 condos that she like flat out owned, or like how many levels of a condo building?
We're not going to go back into how Makima's apartment didn't make any sense.
She had that government money and also that I'm a supernatural BBEG non
I don't think
it
didn't even have anything to do with money. She flat out would talk to the landlord and be like, this is mine now.
Guys, she literally owned a fraction of the soul of every single person in Japan. I don't know what you're trying to get out on here.
Anyway, another fun little detail is that because she is the control devil, Nayuta had all of the leashes for the dogs just like attached to loops on her belt. And despite the fact that she is a small girl and they are like 24 huskies, this was enough for her to have command.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm. But yes, thief. She points at Asa, and a chain just shoots through Asa's head, and she starts barking like a dog.
As you do.
Continuation of the meme. Woof woof.
Oh, yeah, we've gone full circle. See Makima start barking.
Yeah. Then Nayuta goes on her full villain monologue because you thought she'd been redeemed from being Makima, but nope.
No, now we just have Makima, but a child.
Yes.
Makima, but more honest. Out loud.
Which was really the main problem with Makima, was how much she lied. Like,
look, improvement is improvement, okay? We'll take what we can get.
Nayuta, what did you do? I turned her into a dog. Why? Because she got spit on my property. I'm my own property, turn her back. No.
You got control devil with the like hormones of like a middle schooler. That is a bad combination.
I'm hungry, can't turn her back. All right, so I'm going to make you dinner and you're going to turn her back, right? Okay.
I love the level of paranoia Tatsuki Fujimoto puts in me, where the fact that now if any character mentions they're hungry, like in the back of my head, I just have to go, Is Famine Devil secretly manipulating the scene?
Exactly.
No, food is a thing.
But what if though?
I mean,
Yes.
Denji is known for eating precarious food and a lot of it, so yes.
Large amounts of very suspicious meat. Yes.
Naota goes and says the thing that I did, which was if I had a nickel for every time Denji got a date with a woman who was expressly trying to lure him into a position to kill him, I'd have 3 nickels, which is a concerning amount.
The awareness is astounding. Denji,
Also-
your love life sucks.
It really does. Granted, it has improved massively, but like his everything life has sucked for most of the series.
No, but I mean his just constant like hopefulness, his outlook, the way he's able to spin it because he's had to.
You gotta respect his ability to bounce back from all of that. Like,
Denji's life sucks, but it sucks significantly less every single day. Like it's getting better.
and you know what? What more could you ask for, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
that
really.
it's that Denji gratitude because he knows what it's like having less than nothing.
But I love this because it got my paranoid brain going, because Naota's like, every woman you meet tries to kill you. Why is this dog any different? The feeling I get. The feeling you get, huh? Yeah. Anyway, you're going to turn her back, right? On 2 conditions. I already gave you the 1 condition that you wanted. On 2 conditions. Okay, fine. What are your 2 conditions? 1, I get ice cream every day. Only if I get some. 2, and when she does 2, she makes a finger gun. Why'd she do that?
She's counting 1 to 2.
Yeah, that's how I know Europe also counts like that.
But like she's counting 1 to 2 with really loaded imagery.
But that goes index finger, middle finger, not index finger, thumb.
You're right. That is weird. She does just make a gun.
It means something. It means death. I will kill you. I want you to know this.
And it also causes her fingers to frame Denji in a way.
That's concerning. Yes, like there is a mundane explanation for it, but it is framed in a very specific way.
So, not to continue quoting Tatsuki Fujimoto, but there is also the one shot he did where it's some guy just going like, sometimes it's just a cool manga. Not everything is symbolism.
Then maybe you shouldn't be so symbolism laden.
Sometimes it's just a song.
That good old paranoia. I also have to point out that Asa, or I guess Yoru, mind controlled into being a dog, is sleeping in a cuddle puddle of dogs, and I want that so bad.
Yeah.
You overheat like crazy.
I don't care. I want to snuggle with all of the Husker puppers.
Oh, I just realized there's a cat in this pile.
Yes.
Is that Meowie?
I think that's Meowie.
That's Meowie.
I can't remember if Meowie's dead.
Meowing is
No, Meowie was alive.
No, Meowie's
Okay.
fine. That's Meowie. Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, that
No.
is Meowie.
Yep.
Okay.
That's so cute. Gosh, this section is so cute. I love it.
Despite how horrifying it is, it's so cute.
I like how Meowie is like completely socialized to like these crap ton of huskies.
Meowie is better socialized than Power was.
Yeah.
But I like how Nayuta is also just like, so I got these 2 conditions. The second one is importantly is don't get friendly with her. And Denji's just like, that was the entire point. And she's like, nah, I don't like how she smells. And I'm like, Nayuta, good nose. She is currently one of the 4 horsemen.
I mean, that's probably the reason why she might have said it, but also because of the control. Like, I feel like it's double faceted. It's like, first, you were not allowed to date anyone, but 2, also you just stay away from this one.
She is actively possessive, yes.
Yes, there are many links in the chain. It's to the point where you're just like, all right, so you're not going to get friendly with her anymore, which means it's totally cool that I'm going to alter her memories so that she thinks you stood her up.
Fine, whatever.
I really like how Denji's like, no, what? He is very incensed at this idea and then kind of backs off because he's not willing to fight her about it because Denji got stood up by Reze and that crushed him.
You're not getting closer to her anyway, right?
Fine.
Yeah, you come first, Nayuta. Peace sign.
She's so smug.
She's a little goblin, and I hate her, but she's great.
She's a little goblin, and I kind of love her.
And we cut to Asa standing by the school. The sun's setting, so no one showed up for her aquarium date? Or no, this must be the movie date.
No, this was date 2. This was movie date.
And she goes into turbo tsundere mode.
I have never read something where someone is saying, I don't care. I love him so much, but I don't care. Like
the level. Oh yeah, there's the bit where she's like, I prefer solitude, actually. Yeah, keep pumping that copium, honey.
I prefer solitude said in 5 paragraphs, split between 3 panels.
Look, if I was even slightly attracted to him, I was just horny. I gotta just push that down. Like, that's not real.
Look, I was just trapped in a confined space with him for a while, and it can't control the hormones. It was just, you know what? I'm glad he forgot. I've got so much schoolwork to do.
Everyone falls in love with someone they go on a camping trip with. That's completely normal.
What's wrong with me? All I should care about is getting rid of the damn war devil and getting my body back.
So, Asa, would you like the list in alphabetical order or in order of severity?
It's okay. Before she can do any self-reflection, Hirafume's in there going like, ooh, emotionally distraught woman. I'm here to pick up the slack.
You doing okay? What do you want? I mean, what are you doing? You're just kind of slumping against the school wall, mumbling to yourself. I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Ooh. You look bored and angry and maybe not feeling super attractive right now.
Want to keep company with me for a while then? Yes. God, she really is just female Denji.
In a different vein, though, and I don't think she has the awareness and clarity that Denji did, because Denji immediately came out horny, okay?
She also hasn't gone through Denji's character development, so yeah.
Yeah.
Asa just literally, she definitely wants friendship. She wants people to pay attention and actually see value in her. And so romance is like secondary very much, but she wants people to like want to hang out with her, see value, her contribution, and so that's why she's so on edge. But yeah, she's not full Denji. Denji is just deprived fool, but I love him.
She definitely doesn't want to feel like the only people attracted to her are weirdo school shooter types, which her last best friend really isn't doing much for.
Yeah. But yeah, that brings us to the end of our reading. So, as always, we must ask the seminal question of favorite character and favorite fight/devil encounter. For me, it's legitimately difficult because I really, really like Asa in that she is a super interesting character. She'd be totally fucking miserable to be around in any other context, but as a character, watching her kind of crash and burn through self-actualization is hilarious, and I love it. But man, Denji, my boy, just out here having learned nothing, but also having learned so much.
What has Denji learned?
More than you'd think, less than you'd hope. Nah, I gotta say Asa. Asa continues to be a fantastic new primary protagonist. Having read ahead a little bit, she only gets more whoopee in the most just. I didn't think people could have it worse than Denji, but here we are with a serious contender.
No, nobody wins the Suffering Olympics.
Mm-hmm. And as for favorite devil encounter, the Eternity Devil purely for the Aquarium spear shot at the end.
Interesting.
Jacob, how about you?
Favorite character is the Swarm of Huskies.
Mm-hmm.
That is indeed a character, a singular character.
A singular character that is the Swarm of Huskies.
The dogs.
So, I mean, honestly, jokes aside, legitimate contender, I kind of loved the fact that they were very overtly Huskies. Like, they actually behaved like Huskies. They were, like, crawling all over people and pay attention to me. But actual favorite character is Nayumi. We didn't get much of her, but seeing the Control Devil in such a different context, someone who has so many elements of Makima and yet is so distinctly different. Like you can see the through line, but it's also flipped so completely, you know.
Oh, Nayuta.
Oh, no,
Nayumi's from Naruto, I think. I don't know.
I
Actually,
don't know. There's an N and there's some syllables in there, I think. Anyway, I've already forgotten which is the correct way of pronouncing your name.
Nayuta.
Nayuta. She's my favorite because of the compare and contrast with her previous incarnation. And favorite encounter, I mean, come on, the Aquarium spear shot, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so cool.
Jay, how about you?
So, favorite character, because just in my own quirky way, I resonate a lot with Asa. I'm constantly trying to
Memorize cool aquarium facts for dates.
sometimes, but also I just generally enjoy that. Like I like learning about my surroundings and finding fun facts, I guess. And I tend to overthink things to the point where as Matt can attest to and perhaps others, I can be kind of boring. I like my quirkiness because I think it's interesting, but I also recognize that other people might not find the same things interesting. But alas.
Self-actualization is important.
I think you're awesome, Jay, and also as someone who can also get down rabbit holes of particular interests that no one else cares about, I also identify with both your favorite character and you.
Thank you. It's so sweet. My favorite devil encounter would have to be Nayuta. It's as much as it grates me because it's just such chaotic, like little kid energy. I'm just like, damn. I have
This
to
is
say,
mine.
yes. Lay it down. So I'd have to say that's my favorite mini encounter, if you want to call it that. Yeah.
It was an encounter with the control devil, so yeah. And Matt.
Oh man. So in the arc we read, who is my favorite character? I want to say Denji, but he's so much of a secondary character. He's pretty good. I love Denji in this. Asa's really good too. But if I had to pick someone who had like amazing standout lines and I just appreciated being there, Yoshida. I
Yeah.
love him in this. He's got the amazing line about just like, well, I guess we can't fight the devil, so we just should accept our deaths. Hey, Denji, you think you could kill the death devil so we don't have to die? So
Yeah, that's a good line.
I love it.
He feels like the Cheshire Cat. He just shows up to smile smugly and say cryptic things.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty good looking.
Plus, picking up Asa on the rebound is always fun.
Yeah. Also, this is not the first time he's weirdly slid in and tried to pick her up.
He slides into those DMs.
Yeah.
But
right quick.
Yeah, I mean, favorite fight has got to be just only the 2-page aquarium spear. Like, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The build up, the wham page, and the follow through are all amazing.
Just great. That's peak Chainsaw Man right there. That is almost as good as when Denji rode Beam into a tornado.
Just moments of very like intense and like kind of downbeat character drama and introspection, punctuated by, is that Fishman being ridden by a chainsaw man fighting a flesh tornado? Did he throw a shark through that guy? Chainsaw Man never change. You can tell Jay wrote this outline because favorite Denji moment.
Yeah.
Don't out me like that.
But is he wrong though?
I'll go. Finding out that Denji spends his time picking up cigarette butts to then roll into cigarettes to sell to homeless people is hilarious.
Yes. I already said that Denji's response to Asa's extremely boring fish fun facts was my favorite joke. So you know what? Yeah, that's mine.
I'm trying to think of just one. Listeners, if you haven't guessed, I am 100%, 110% Team Denji, and I wish him the best. He deserves the world. I have to say Denji penguin moment, which is so pure.
It's so pure.
He's so
You're
pure.
right.
I wanted to go see the penguins. I saw a penguin. I held a penguin. This is the best day ever.
He's so cute. I want to keep him.
He is cute. I also want to keep him. Oh.
Yes, and Jacob.
Do I go with the cute or do I go with the character development? It's me, so you kind of know what the answer to that one is. But my favorite Denji moment, honestly, was the point where he realized it's right before he gets to actually hold a penguin, where he's like, "Wait a second, I'm just listening to what a woman tells me to do in exchange for a reward. I thought I was going past this." But I do also want the reward. So like him parsing that out, because it's a sort of interesting thing that I don't see, and honestly, I don't even see a lot of sequels really do this very often. Weirdly enough, it come million miles out of nowhere, but Balto 2 is actually one of the rare cases where I feel like this is something that got really well addressed.
Jacob, can we go 24 hours without you mentioning Balto 2?
No, it's underrated, okay?
It's because of the Huskies, isn't it?
It is. Well, okay, there is that. But the thing that's sort of interesting is you get a main
somehow a half husky, half wolf dog became more wolf than the father.
The thing you don't see even in a lot of sequels is the main character learns a lesson. Cool, good. That's character development. That's largely what a story is in a lot of ways. But like, it's rare that you see something go back and get readdressed, and like the subtlety and the nuance of an already learned lesson is like doubled down on or altered, because Denji learned he shouldn't just do what people tell him to do. He should make his own decisions. But there is also the factor of, does that mean he just never listens to anybody? Because if he does listen to people, then they'll, do nice things for him in return. And it's like, where's the line between being a doormat and being a douchebag, basically? And because of how stunted Denji is as a person, we're watching him trying to parse out that line, which is, for most people, a pretty normal and easy thing to find, but like, you don't think about it because it's so natural. And just like the idea of, here's the main character learns a lesson. Cool, lesson learned. That doesn't instantly make their life perfect. They still have a lot more that they have to work through and deal with. So that was my favorite Denji moment, because it showed how far his character has developed and how sideways that development has been. It hasn't been a linear path, and the potential for further growth and a more complex view on the lessons already established.
All right, and predictions on the lore stroke the plot going forward. Well, I will admit that I read ahead a little bit, and I learned that the Chainsaw Man takes place in the year 1999.
I think we got that. I think that was mentioned in passing
Maybe
near the end of part 1.
Yes, but maybe, but it was definitively said at that point. So it's like, okay, 1999 going into the year 2000.
Millennium Devil,
Y2K Devil. But the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are appearing. We've got war, we've got famine, death and plague can't be far behind. So
can't you eat the Death Devil for us, Denji?
Exactly. The broad spectrum thing is that the 4 horsemen will appear at some point, and Denji will probably find a way to charming dork his way into convincing Yoru to join his side against them. And then, he'll save the world, but a lot of people could die in the process because Chainsaw Man.
Oh yes, people will die.
As for like more specific things, honestly, I don't know, because going into the next one, there's a devil that appears as the next like sort of villain of the week, sort of like antagonist, and the way that devil's power works makes me wonder about the like syntax split between different kinds of it's a whole headache, and I can't wait for our next episode to talk about it. Matt, how about you? Well, I mean,
I'm up to date with it, so
yeah. So actually, we're gonna skip you. Jay, are you? You mentioned
I am also up to date.
Okay, Jacob, my fellow tardy man.
I think Denji's gonna get his penguin back.
All right, and would you continue reading? Resounding yes from me, obviously. I love Denji. I love Asa. I can't wait for them to trip headlong into being in some
kind of relationship,
some sort of entanglement.
Yeah, entanglement.
And it would be just like Asa to trip over nothing and land into something complicated with our boy Chainsaw Man. Oh yeah, I also can't wait. I gotta say it again. I can't wait to be proven right about the Chainsaw Man devil.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense logically.
But so since we already have the information from Matt and Jay by extrapolation, Jacob, would you continue reading?
So I can't help but recall in the very first episode where I said I didn't really like any of the characters at all. That's flipped so hard. I freaking love everybody. Of course I'll continue reading. I'm very invested. Did you see all of those huskies? I'd read for that alone.
Husky Adventures.
I want to read their spin-off manga.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. And thank you everyone once again for listening to the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all of your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You can also find us on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. The episodes go up on a 2-week delay, so if you want to catch up with all of our current stuff, we have overmangacast.com. You can also give us comments on individual episodes there.
And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all forms, iTunes, Spotify, wherever there's like a star system and you can throw stars at us. We like them. We eat them. They're starfish. We boil them in a pot so they're not poisonous. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you can also send us an email overmangacast@gmail.com, where if you enjoy long ramblings that aren't pre-prepared at all and just go off on a spit, go ahead, type it into a thing, send it to me. I'll pretend to read it. If you do, it's coherent, I'll actually read it.
Make sure to tune in next week, where we're getting ready for the 4th of July again. And you know what that means. It's time to continue the road to the White House. Eagle, the making of an Asian American president, Volume 3. I have read 2 pages of this, just to refresh myself a little bit.
It is already a madhouse.
I'm so excited. So read that if you're keeping up with the show. And God bless America. We'll see you next Thursday.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Look, I don't normally take sides in political debates, but I would 100% vote for the man who could eat enough to consume all 50 states and their inhabitants.
We even have a choice at that point? We would be consumed.
Chainsaw Man 2024.
Oh, God.
Chainsaw Man, I don't want the world to exist anymore.
Yeah, that's my platform.